Alright, good afternoon, guys. This is gonna be my Comms 100 ceremonial speech. I ended up choosing to do the tribute, so let's just get started with one important man, a person that is in my life that has become one of the biggest role models and has created the person that I am today is my dad. He has taught me that always treat a woman with respect, never disrespect them, always be a gentleman and treat them with care. Treat my older sister with care also. So treat her as the way you would treat your wife and future spouse. He has taught me that working hard and always keeping me motivated is what's gonna make you successful in this life, and has taught me that even when you don't have anything and you start off at the bottom, you can always create something out of that. My dad, let's get a little background story about my dad. My dad came into this country without anything. He crossed the border from Mexico and didn't know English, and didn't know that many people here. So he just began working, hustling, and grinding so he could get the things that he wanted to do. And slowly he started saving up money, and yeah, he was finally able to construct a home back in Mexico and buy a house here and create his family. And even though he came here with nothing, he has tried his hardest to always give me the best that I want. And that's honestly one of the biggest motivations, because he's been able to buy two of his dream cars, support his family, back in Mexico, and just create a living for himself. And that's honestly one of the biggest motivations of why I want to continue studying, of why I don't want to give up, because my father has shown me that having nothing doesn't mean that you should give up. It doesn't mean that just because you start off somewhere bad, just because you don't have anything, doesn't mean that you have to give up. And honestly, that's one of the biggest motivations for people. Like, there's so many people out there that believe that just because you hit rock bottom or because you don't have anything, you should just give up at that point. No, that's not the reasoning. Like, because of that, you should motivate yourself more to continue grinding, continue working. And yeah, it may take time, it may take years, but you can actually create something, and it's all a process. Another thing is, my father was able to teach me that treating a woman respectfully. Like, I've gotten into a relationship where I was not comfortable in it, and I didn't think the girl was also. So and there was things that she would say or do that I felt disrespected in myself and didn't feel like we were respecting each other mutually. So because of that, I was able to talk to my dad, tell him how I felt, and he was able to give me the encouragement to finally cut it off, the relationship, and give me the courage to be able to say no, like, I'm not comfortable here. And instead of leading each other on and making it seem like we were going to be something that we weren't, I ended up just leaving it, told her respectfully how I felt, and we were able to go our separate ways. And that is honestly one of the biggest things that has been able to show respect to my elders, to my family, and yeah. And to this day, my dad doesn't stop to surprise me. He has slowly began to open up his own remodeling company here in Reading. He's been able to slowly construct the company that he always wished to learn. He didn't know anything about remodeling houses, but he slowly began working into it, and now he has a good amount of knowledge of how to work with that. And yeah, so in conclusion, my dad is not only a great person and a great father figure, but he's one of the biggest role models and has set a high standard and a high bar for me to try and accomplish and possibly be, which I know it's gonna be hard, but having that motivation and that role model for me to always look up to is honestly one of the biggest feelings, because I know that I gotta keep grinding, I gotta keep working, I gotta keep studying for me to be able to successfully accomplish what my dad did, from starting from nothing and creating something. Even though I know I didn't completely start from the bottom, I know that I still had to put in my part and be able to create something out of that. And so this tribute goes out to my dad. I love you so much, and thank you for being one of the biggest role models that I could ever have. Thank you guys. Hope you guys have a good night.